Silverfish dungeon has boss bass. Except he stays at the same height the whole time. So sometimes it'll actually appear as he's floating in midair. Yeah, this is a boss bass that can eat you and kill you no matter what kind of power-ups you have. Things get pretty hectic when there's 3 of them chasing you. Yeah, 3 boss passes. Isn't 1 enough? Oh, look at that. 4 of them. I'm definitely inclined to think that 1 boss pass is enough to keep you on your toes, but 4 of them, I think it may even slow down the game. Awash Castle. Kind of a weird name, but I guess it makes sense as it's filled with water. Again, I don't know where to go. I'm willing to bet that the camera is not panning up the way it should. Okay, where do I go? All of a sudden, I can't find out where to go at all. That bridge you cross of red switch blocks just leads to a power-up. All of a sudden, the level just ends in a random dead end. Unless there's something I'm totally missing. If you get the secret exit of the power center, you'll find a level known as Statues Mayhem, referring to the Bowser statues that now look like Wendy statues for some reason. So it's essentially a level based around these. Having a cape feather will at least make it a lot easier, but still, you have to pretty much squeeze it. Man, this is gonna be kind of tough to go up here. Man, this is gonna be kind of tough to go up here. Don't you think? Well, I got hit, might as well just invincibility run through it. Not too terrible, but it could have been a lot better. Especially since the level looks relatively boring. You're spamming all these solid blocks, and pretty much your background is just a solid blue color with only a few clouds. Again, it's very blue and monotonous in terms of everything. Continuing on the secret path, we'll get to see Brick Desert. Again, the level looks fairly decent. Here I'm understanding that you must use a Koopa of some sort. Again, I really would recommend having one-tile high passages like that. I can imagine this part must be pretty hard to deal with, considering all these plants. Are these grab blocks? If so, I can't grab them because apparently if there are too many sprites on screen, sprite memory limitations will prevent you from grabbing these blocks. Yeah, that is actually possible. Then we get Cold Lake. By the looks of it, he wants us to break through all these ice blocks. Somehow. Man, this is gonna be tedious as all hell. I'm really thinking you should put this door... You shouldn't put this door on an ice block, because if you break the ice block that the door is on, you can no longer go in it. Newsflash, you can now no longer enter that door. It's impossible. That door should have been on a regular solid block. If it wasn't, we wouldn't even have this problem. Honestly, this level's like eating your way through granite. It's tedious, and why does it even exist? There's hardly anything to break up the monotony of doing this anyway. Overall, this level is really, really weak. This is all you get to do here. It's an experience you wish would just end. The right side of the screen. Now we found the door. Frankly, I can't believe I made it this far in the level anyway. And nothing is even up here. Yeah, great fucking level. Then there's Bright Castle. this level is really lacking in terms of graphics. Cement block spam plus a solid white background. Yeah. Talk about lively graphics to entice the player. If you enter a light blue door, the castle becomes blue and all of a sudden you can swim in it. As if it was a water level. Yeah, now it's a water level. And then there's this yellow door that I think I have to go in. Except you need a fire flower to do it. And floating munchers. And you're probably gonna lose your fire flower anyway, and that's the way out of the level. Alright, Falling Bridge is a rather empty and short level. And not very thoughtful level at all. In this level, you'll have gone through an auto-scrolling section. You'll quickly find 2 feathers. Then you'll quickly find a long platform to run on, get a running boost, jump and fly, floating munchers included, yay. Then you'll just fall down, and then you get to a pipe where the level ends. But you ain't heard nothing yet. You've gotta be shitting me. How was it humanly possible that Blackout did not know that there was something wrong with this attempt at inserting a sample? And to believe that this was submitted on Super Mario World Central! Just listen to it! What happened here?! Yeah, you could be so cool bragging to your friends about the wonderful soundtracks you listen to. And you're talking about Super Mario Collision. You know, the one that goes... I have lost hope in humanity once again. Mirage Palace. With a graphical rip of the Mirage Palace from Sega Densetsu that was used in, well, Brutal Mario. How's this for a mindfuck? You go from being in the Mirage Palace straight to this donut bridge. The Mirage Palace just cuts off into nothingness, and all of a sudden you're on this donut bridge. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. To find a flat strip of nothingness, only to get to the midpoint and find nothing else after that. But there was this Venus planet. What does he say? I don't exactly understand, but from what I've seen, take a guess where it is. Take a guess where you need to look for the exit. That random pipe somewhere above that Venus flytrap that's actually your friend. Yeah, not like you'd be guessing that. Believe it or not, something like this actually happened in the real Super Mario Bros. 3, in one of the fortresses, that is. We got this Lemmy boss fight, except all of the Koopalings now look the same. So it's much harder to tell which one's the real one. You just kind of have to guess now. So it's not that hard anyway. I mean, the enemy setup isn't scarier. Iggy's Castle now looks like this. We got the original Super Mario World Castle foreground mixed with his background from a Donkey Country game. Yeah, you're looking at some pretty serious graphical clash here. Not to say I haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, he's done quite a few other great examples of this already. If you haven't seen some of the graphical clashes in Hammer Brother Demo 3, you are obviously missing out. That is kind of tough to make without losing your power up, seriously. After that, you'll end up in a room that looks like something you would have seen in the original Super Mario World. After having looked at the Donkey Kong Country 3 background, this is kind of bizarre, actually. Again with the stacked munchers as walls. The Koopaling bosses you have to fight in Kollision only slightly differ from one boss to the next. Except all the block setups get harder to deal with as you go. So you're fighting what's almost the same boss like 7 times, actually. It just gets harder and harder each time. Well, that would make sense, but yeah. Oh, so the Force of Illusion is apparently now an icy world, according to this Romhack. Okay, the first level in World 5, Iced Forest. You just changed the color of Force of Illusion, and now it's an ice world. Okay then, let's go with it. So now we end up in an ice world. Not much to say here. It's still an ordinary sort of level. It still seems like an alright level, surprisingly. You'd think that after what you heard in Falling Bridge, everything was just going to go down the shitter, but this is still okay. Now let's go find the secret exit. The secret exit is in an incredibly dumb place. You'll have to break some ice blocks with a fire flower, but the pipe to get into the secret area is placed on the lowest row. Yeah, good luck finding that. You can't even see it. You'll have to look in Lunar Magic or just take a wild guess, having a feeling that he might actually try and pull something like that. So far, this is awfully familiar. That's because it is. This is the Forest Ghost House. The only thing you did was change the color and make it slippery. Newsflash, changing the color does not equivalent to designing a new level. Let's go look at Snow Hills, which all of a sudden has music from the original Super Mario World, considering I don't think any other level did up to this point. Again, it still actually looks like the average level compared to some of the other stuff Blackout has made. Except for this random floating muncher. Lake Ruins. So we have an underwater level. An underwater ruins, to be precise, with pyramid graphics from Super Mario Bros. 2. Considering it's a horizontal level that actually uses both halves of its top and bottom screens, it's actually kind of a big level, and he's giving you a lot of time, 800 seconds. So it looks like it's gonna take a while. Yeah, this level looks like it's gonna take a while. I'll be back once this is done. Floating munchers! Yeah, floating munchers. I feel like I'm gonna complain about that all the time, despite the fact I've seen way worse in this hack. I thought the level's gonna be a lot longer, judging by the time he gave you to begin with, 800 seconds. And I finished with 670 seconds left. We got 8-bit foreground, and this just looks like a horrible assembly and coloring of some volcano background I've seen already. I've already seen this background before, except it's been recolored to look like ice. And Blackout did a horrible job at assembling it and recoloring it. Like, look at this! What happened to this background? How did this happen to this background? Anyway, at least the level's short and straightforward. This is the normal exit. And unsurprisingly, just like in the original Super Mario World, this will not lead you out of the Forest of Illusion and to Roy's Castle, or Castle number 5. Instead, it'll lead you to the Ghost House. You need to find the secret exit to not get caught in that loop. What do? You just go on to the normal exit. I'm not kidding, that's all you need to do. The castle isn't even a castle. It's an airship. A dark airship, to be precise. Okay, now this level actually gets out of hand. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of Hammer Brothers in this one. I mean, look at them all. Look at all the Hammer Brothers here. Oh, and if you pick the wrong way, you die. So I guess this is where the idea to use the ratchet scrolling had begun. Jesus Christ, look at all these enemies. Oh, now the game's getting hard. And then there's Roy. And oh, look at all the munchers. And it's slippery. For some reason. That I can't explain. That is only part of Kollision. That's the first 5 worlds for you. Believe it or not, at the very beginning of the game, it wasn't that bad. But World 6 and beyond is where the true disaster begins. This is where Blackout goes on an all-out rampage of living ass.